What is up, everybody? Ben Johnson here, and today we're talking about some must-have accessories that are complete game changers for the Sony ZV1. Let's go. Alright, welcome back to the channel. As mentioned before, today we are talking about the Sony ZV1, which is a great camera, especially for the price. In my opinion, it is one of the best options for up-and-coming vloggers and YouTubers because it has a ton of great performance packed into a very competitive price. However, out of the box, it isn't quite reaching its fullest potential. So today I want to show you some awesome third-party tools that will really transform this camera into a content creation machine. First and foremost, we are talking about the Ulanzi wide-angle adapter. This is ultimately what made me get the camera in the first place. Out of the box, the camera just isn't quite wide enough for a lot of content that I want to shoot. For vlogging, I feel like it's just a little too close. And this wide angle adapter really changes the game by not only giving it a wider angle of view, but also offering macro options built into it as well. This is going to take the focal range from about a 24mm equivalent to something closer to a 17mm equivalent, which is a lot more suitable for vlogging. It does a great job maintaining sharpness edge to edge. A lot of times when you introduce adapters, they can kind of, soften the images in certain areas. This really does do a great job keeping everything sharp and clear, and all it's doing is just giving you that wider angle of view. Next up on the list is another product from Ulanzi, and that is a selfie stick tripod. This little tripod is incredible. You can open up the legs and use it as a tabletop or low to the ground tripod, but you can also hold it and extend it out to have a wider view for vlogging. This combined with the wide angle lens really gives you the ideal length for vlogging while active stabilization is on. I really think this combo of the wide angle lens and the selfie stick creates a great option for vloggers, especially for people that are just traveling on the go. It's a really lightweight, compact setup that's super versatile. One thing to mention is that it can be prone to cause a little bit of jitters when active stabilization is on, just because it is extended out further from you and a little harder to control. I'm sure over time this is something that you can kind of perfect and get used to, but I've found more success with my own shots by standing still and extending it out. All in all though, it is a great accessory to try out. Out of the box, the battery life on this camera is just not the greatest, and I couldn't really expect it to be just because of how small and compact it is. I would recommend picking up something like this 3-pack of Newmowa batteries. I found them to be very good with performance, as well as having a 3-slotted charging station. So it's just a good value for the money when it comes to adding in some extra battery life to your camera. Next up on the list is this cage from Uurig. Cages are cool in general because they offer a lot of mounting options for your camera. You can use it to mount microphones, lights, and a ton of different accessories. This cage is especially cool because it includes this awesome wooden grip, which allows a much more easier way for your hand to hold on to the camera. The main issue this is solving though is the horrible battery door design on this camera. Normally when you mount a tripod plate onto the bottom of this camera, you will no longer be able to open up the battery door or change out the SD card without taking off the plate again. This can become super annoying in the middle of a shoot if the battery dies, to have to go unscrew the tripod plate, replace it, and screw it back on and then mount it again. So the cage basically eliminates the need to fuss around with all that stuff because you can still mount a tripod plate to it while having access to the battery door and SD card slot. While the onboard microphone on this camera is pretty good and definitely convenient, You'll get a better sound if you invest in a higher quality shotgun microphone. Diety, an awesome company, recently sent me this microphone to try out, and I've been actually pretty blown away with it. It is super small, it's really compact, and the really interesting thing that sets this apart from other microphones is that it has both a front mic and a rear mic. While vlogging, most of the time you'll be facing the camera towards you, and a typical shotgun mic would work great. However, there's also a lot of times where you're trying to show your audience what's in front of you and narrate at the same time. With traditional shotgun mics, you would have to find a different way to turn the mic around or record the audio later, and it can just be a little confusing. However, this microphone actually solves that problem by having both a front mic and a rear mic. By default, you can have just the front mic on, but if you want to switch it so both are on, you can simply flip a switch. What this will do is record a stereo track with both microphone recordings panned left and right. In your editor, you can change this stereo track to a dual mono track, and then you'll have essentially two different recordings, one of the front mic and one of the back mic, which can be extremely helpful in certain situations. Even beyond this unique feature though, the microphone does sound pretty good, and I've been very happy with it overall. All right, we're doing a quick microphone test. Currently, this is the onboard microphone on the Sony ZV1, so that you guys can hear what that sounds like compared to the Diety microphone. Now we have switched to the Diety microphone. Let me know if you guys can hear a difference. I do think that the Diety mic has a little bit more low end and ultimately gives you a little bit more control. All right, so now we are walking around using the onboard camera microphone that is directly attached to the ZV1 rather than the shotgun. Just to compare the difference, is the quality better, the same, worse? All right, so we're here again and we're testing out the Diety microphone, just trying to see how does it sound. Does it sound any better, any worse? We're just kind of out here walking around in the neighborhood, testing out this camera so that you guys can see, is this going to be a good option for you when it comes to content creation? And the last tool that I want to recommend to go with your ZV1 is actually today's sponsor, SoundStripe. SoundStripe is a music licensing platform that I personally use on all of my projects and have used long before I started YouTube. With their subscription plan, you can license any of the music in their library on your YouTube videos or also on your client projects. I've actually already done a ton of research for you comparing a bunch of different music licensing platforms, and at the time of this recording, I have found that SoundStripe is the best value option available. Traditionally, it can take a lot of time to find a good track that you can legally use on your projects, but SoundStripe's search feature makes this so easy. Also, you can use code CREATIVE15 to save yourself 15% at checkout. Definitely check it out. It's a great option to pair with your ZV1 to make awesome videos. All right, everybody, that's going to about wrap up this video. I hope you have enjoyed this and found some value from it. If you want to check out any of the accessories mentioned or even some of the other gear that I use, I've placed a ton of links down in the description as a resource for you. Before you guys leave, make sure to hit that like button, subscribe, turn on notifications, and as always, stay creative. Peace.